Friends, how are you doing? What another amazing day in the stock market. The S&P is about to break a new high here once again. We're living in history. So, a lot of great things going on in the market this week. I mean, this has been a banging week in the market, so I expect next week or maybe tomorrow, but more than likely this will trickle into next week. The gas pedal might keep going here into Friday. I expect somewhere we're going to get huge pullback, huge sell-off, which is fine because I think a lot of people have taken profit. Let's let the dust settle, see what happens here. But let's talk about, let's talk about SoFi, let's talk about Big Bear, and kind of what's going on here with these stocks and particularly. And, I think it's amazing what's going on right now in the overall market. So, SoFi has found itself in this position where SoFi is in this crypto world now, blockchain, everything that's we've known about, we've talked about. Now it's actually occurring. SoFi's had an amazing year, biggest year it ever had in 2024. This year is no different. It is turning out to be another even bigger year from what we can tell. Obviously, we're only one quarterly in here, but nonetheless, we have another one right around the bend here. Just 33 days to be exact from now. So, a lot of us are wondering, will this be the year where SoFi breaks into $1 billion quarterly? I don't know, maybe, who knows? Robinhood had that crazy quarterly not long ago where it just went from, 500,000, 600,000, 700,000, 800,000, boom, $1 billion quarterly, and now they're kind of teeter-tottering around that area. So it is possible. We've seen stocks, we've seen banks, we've seen situations like this happen before. Now, obviously, SoFi, Robinhood being totally different, odd ends of this circuit right there. But nonetheless, specifically talking about SoFi here, last time I talked about SoFi days ago at this point, my theme of that conversation was that overall, in the long run, SoFi is going to do well for you. I mean, this could not be a better situation to be a part of into the future with SoFi. Now, I still think even SoFi doing this amazing push-up where it's at right now, I still believe 100% that SoFi is going to be teeter-tottering here quite a bit unless something dramatic were to change here. But SoFi, nonetheless, the short term that we're looking at, this short-term push that we're looking at right now, SoFi looking for this $17 position. Once again, it kind of had before the tariff market, kicked in, and now we're back into these all-time highs going again. So SoFi is back in this 16 high position. Whenever we get pulled back in the market here, whatever it looks like, whatever the drama that will unveil itself here soon enough, we'll see a lot of our stocks pull back. But what's going to be interesting is this kind of where the market's going from this point on? The S&P is back into this 6,000 point range, Dow very high, NASDAQ high, everything's back up again. SoFi is back up in these high numbers. Can 15s, 14s be the new high for SoFi? That's still really good position. That's still great. Now I know a lot of us, we're greedy investors and we want SoFi to keep going to $17, $18, $20. Like I said, the theme of my last conversation with SoFi is that this year, next year, SoFi undoubtedly should close out this year at least 20, 25 minimum. 30 I could see still. Next year, we're going to be in $1 billion quarterly range with SoFi. That's coming regardless. Whether you're betting against or for it, it's coming regardless. SoFi being in the $1 billion quarterly range here. SoFi is, the good things with SoFi, it's growing at an incredibly alarming rate to where you need to pay attention to it. With revenue, with deals, with partnerships, with people opening just basic bank accounts. In what SoFi, the kind of what their bread and butter is, what they've really pushed into this company here in the last 3-4 years coming out of COVID, where they were destroyed essentially, rebuilt the whole company here. What we're looking at now is that they've pushed into this younger generation that really 100% is, they're coming out of college, they're getting into jobs. A lot of, people in their 30s, 40s obviously have opened up accounts with SoFi, but SoFi nonetheless has went after a younger demographic here. So in the next decade, the next 5 years, 10 years, SoFi is going to have a lot of these people that have had accounts with them need mortgages, car loans, loans in general, business loans, credit cards. This stuff is going to start piling in more money for, SoFi. And undoubtedly, I do believe within the next 5 to 10 years, obviously, SoFi is going to be a beast for other banks. Their software that they have attached to their banking is undoubtedly, I think, some of the best out there. It's so simple. It's what makes it unique. I have SoFi. I use them. They are amazing. Okay, I don't work for the company, but I will tell you that I'm a fan of them. The downside to SoFi, and I've seen this and I've been preaching this time and time again, is that SoFi, at the end of the day, it's a bank. It's a bank, okay? That is the bread and butter, the backbone of the company, okay? I think SoFi is amazing. I'm not saying anything bad about it, but SoFi is in this position right now where, you're seeing a lot of AI stocks that aren't even making the kind of money that SoFi is making, but their stock is higher. Their stock is doing better. And this has been the conversation for a long time. So, SoFi is just in this market right now that's doing well. It's undervalued. It should get a lot more attention. It doesn't, because it's not an AI stock. It's not a defense stock. It's just a bank stock, a really new, unique company that has multiple avenues with what they are as a bank, with technology, what they're pushing into, everything. Couldn't be enough good things said. When we look at the stock price of SoFi right now, so why I'm saying that 15s to 1420 that's kind of where I'm thinking SoFi could find this new level. Now obviously this is when the market stops when we hit a red day. We stop pushing. The market balances itself out to some new lows that have been new highs. I do think if SoFi can get to this hold 1420s, 1420 to somewhere in the 15s, that is amazing. That is a crazy push compared to 2-3 weeks ago where we were with SoFi. Okay, even at the end of May. I mean, this is crazy gains that people are looking at right now. Short term, we'll probably see some pullback. I could easily see tomorrow, Friday, still pushing into the market. That depends, obviously, what the news is going to bring. The market moves off news right now. Two, short term, like I said, we're going to see some pullback, 100%. But long term, if you're looking for a great fundamental company stock to be a part of and put in your portfolio, SoFi is one of those stocks. It is that stock that I always tell people about, because I feel safe from the evidence that we can see right now as individuals. I feel safe for what SoFi has coming in the future. It's annihilating quarterlies. It's growing as a company. Unbelievably. It's doing all the right things, and it's in this, I would definitely say SoFi is in this realm of a lot of investors could pay attention to it. It's not getting the push and the heat that it deserves at what I think. I think SoFi is undervalued. I think it should be at least at $25 to $30. And I'm guilty of this. Listen, I was saying that SoFi by June, July will be a $30 stock. It's not. I think it should be. I think it's incredibly undervalued, 100%. So I do think, the $20, $25, $30 position is coming sooner than people think. But obviously, it's going to take a moment to get there. It's going to take a lot more pushing to get there in the market, 100%. So SoFi, I'm drinking the juice on it. I'm 100%, pushing into SoFi and just riding this roller coaster wave with it. Friends, let's talk about Big Bear. Obviously, I talk about Big Bear every day because it deserves conversation. It deserves, it deserves attention right now. Okay, so Big Bear today, it wants $6 so bad. It wants $6. The situation that we find ourselves in right now is that Big Bear has been climbing since last Friday. This kind of started. We saw this trickle of high volume pushing into $4 last Friday, closing out right at $4. Monday came in, very obvious what was occurring before us. Later that day, we pushed into $4 and 25 cents. That was a huge eye opener. By that night, after market was closed, we were pushing into the 420s. That morning pre-market, we, on the 25th, we were pushing, or 24th, I mean, we were pushing into high $4 range. Boom, we're going into $5 range. Now, yesterday we found ourselves in this high $5 range, a little bit of sell-off back into the fours. And now we are back in the situation of 580s, low 80s. But nonetheless, this is amazing. This is a battle you're watching right before you. So short term, let's talk about short term, like this week going into next week, what we're looking at here with Big Bear. Big Bear right now is in this fluctuation of we're getting a very moderate to a lot of volume to we're trickling down to where things are getting, I would say, a little just pulse has died completely. So this has been the last 24, 48 hours with Big Bear. Big push, fall down, kind of trickling out, fizzling out here. But nonetheless, why I say that, it's great position. If you were buying in at the threes, fours, anywhere in the fours at this point, you're obviously in some high profit range. We're in this situation right now where people, I would dare say, are cautious. We're cautious, okay? Because Big Bear has a history of running hard and then not having legs to stand on and falling apart. Now, before I say anything else, if you know me, long term, what the rest of this year is bringing for Big Bear, I'm totally bullish on it. I mean, 100%. I couldn't be more in this moment of, I think they're going to get more government contracts. I think the next 4 years for them are going to be heavy-handed with defense because obviously, what do we know? We know Trump is spending all the money on defense right now, and it's not going to stop. I mean, he's been in here, 6 months, and look at what we're doing right now. We're crazy money on defense. Hasn't even started most of it. So Big Bear here is in this realm of where it's gotten all these government contracts. It has moved up with quarterly. We are expecting it to at least, as of what we can tell right now, roughly money-wise, close out the year at 180, 190 million. 200 million would be great. I don't know if they're still young in the year. There's still plenty of time for them to make it up and get to that point. But nonetheless, the negative for the people that are saying the negative, obviously 100%, we'll talk about it. They have debt. They've got debt they need to pay off. Big money does not like debt, and that's not good, this kind of debt they have. Obviously, other positives, have a new CEO, has a military background, has a relationship with Trump prior. I don't think it's any coincidence that they are getting these government contracts so heavy-handedly at this point. They've received some other partnerships here as of late, and they're in this moment of at this random occurrence of deals of these airport deals. So that continue to broaden. So there's a lot of good news. There's a ton of good news right now with Big Bear. But I think, too, what you're dealing with, and I don't say this to be mean, but I say this to be realistic about what the situation is, what I see a lot of what's going on here. It's impatience. It's impatience with investors, and I totally get it. Somebody being impatient is the number one killer for them in the market, okay? People don't like to be in the negative. People don't like to wait. They want money now. They want a lot of money now. What you're going to continue to see, I truly believe, is somewhat what we have seen with a lot of other, stocks in history. SoundHound being a great example from 2024, is that this year we're going to see Big Bear slowly trickle up, compounding with these partnerships, these deals. Finances will slowly rise, quarterlies, obviously, but 2, the stock price will rise. Big Bear is but one big deal away from a lot of things shifting and changing with the overall company. That is take that to the bank. That is a guaranteed statement right there. If they were to achieve even the slightest of $100 to $200 million contract right now with government, obviously, but anything at this point, it would change everything. Now, obviously, 2 to 1 year would be better. If it was spread out over 3 or 5 years. 5 years we don't want, but nothing past 3, because obviously it's breaking that contract up to where quarterlies won't be as big. But if they can get some kind of massive deal here in a short span to really boost up quarterly is what we're talking about here, that is going to change a lot of things dramatically. Big Bear's been paying off debt. I mean, things are changing. They've changed the top line. It is there's a different aroma going on over here with Big Bear, and they find themselves in this opportune time and moment in history where we have the gas pedal like beyond the floor right now that is being pumped. Money is being pumped into defense. Okay, not to mention that AI stocks are highly wanted, highly sought after for the future of what's coming here with the stock market, and we could just be in the very beginning stages of where some big opportunity is coming in the market. So friends, listen, long term, that's a harder conversation with Big Bear when it comes to stock price. I do think that Big Bear is still a little undervalued. $6 to $7, I think, is more realistic. It may take a little more building to get there. Now, but long term, yes, I'm very bullish on it, 100%. Like I've said, when you want me to give you a stock price, that's a little harder because there's still so much unknown of deals. What are the quarterlies? What is going to be? What does an aggressive year look like for Big Bear? Things are pretty aggressive right now with Big Bear. I would say the most aggressive they've had in a long time. But 2026 could be a really aggressive year for them in a good way. Short term, where is Big Bear going from this high $5 range? I would not be shocked, and this is where, you as your own individual investor have to make your own decisions, okay? I can't do things for you, obviously. This is easier for me to say I get 100% because you've heard me say this, I have multiple positions in Big Bear. Yeah, it was today. I was on my way home from the beach, and I haven't even looked at it, but I sold some Big Bear in another position, a play around position with Big Bear. I have different positions with Big Bear, some at $2, $3, and then one that I'm playing around with this $4 range here, kind of compounding it in. But I sold a little position today on the way home. I think at like 580. I think I just hit it. I just hit it. I just took a chance and went, well, if it goes 580, I'll sell it. So Big Bear, why I say that to say this is because Big Bear is in this stream of doing what it's been doing, okay? From 1, 2, 3 of this staircase that has been made here, looking for the new floor of what Big Bear is bringing to investors. I think Big Bear is obviously going to keep pushing into this position of building staircases, okay? Big Bear has got a lot of volume attached to it right now. The gas pedal has not been let off that much, but it is a situation of, we're seeing tremendous push up and then fall back down into like a little bit of people are scared to push because they're scared to get caught. I totally get it. So I do think there is high chance that the dust will settle with Big Bear first at somewhere in the 530s, fall down to the 480 position. If we can hold 420 with Big Bear, this is amazing. Now, obviously people are going, why would you want Big Bear to fall down to that range? Why would you say it's good for Big Bear to go back down to $4.20? Friends, listen, for the long-term conversation of what Big Bear is going to be, I would rather Big Bear have these weeks of building these staircases of pushing in highs, people sell off, take their profit, other people come in impatient, start buying up things, they do what they do, we see the stock kind of teeter-totter, push a little more, and then there's going to be a red day here. Something's going to trigger the market. Is that tomorrow? I don't know. But I would not be shocked to see Big Bear falter back down to, this starting with, this $5 situation into fours. Okay. But like I said, if Big Bear can hold this 480, 420 range, this is fantastic because it means that we're building another staircase into $5 to $6 sooner than we think. And maybe by August, we can be building a staircase into $6 to $7 to $8, okay? You see where I'm going with this? This is how Big Bear is really going to start to make people a lot of money because you're compounding your position. You're selling the highs, buying back in on the lows. Okay, you're compounding positions here. This is how you're building a massive amount of shares, a massive amount of wealth into a position, a stock. Okay, now obviously I could just be totally wrong about this, and Big Bear might say, hey, the heck with that, we might have a February run again. I don't know, but I am in the range of, I'm in the conversation of, I would rather Big Bear take its time building up these staircases, because to me, there's a lot more wealth in it. There's a lot more chance of, Monday, Tuesday, make some money. Wednesday, we're watching what happens. Maybe, and then, you can repeat the process into a Thursday, Friday, where, buy the low, sell the high, buy the low, sell the high. So that's kind of where I'm at with Big Bear right now. Long term, I'm absolutely drinking the juice that Big Bear is going to continue to do well here, as long as it is pushing into what it is pushing into. Short term, I'm still 100% believing that Big Bear is going to do well, but don't be shocked to see Big Bear maybe lose some momentum, lose some steam here when the market chooses to come down here a little bit. We've had a heck of a run. This has been a crazy week. A lot of people have made a lot of money this week. Okay, the sharks are out there. They're wanting people to make the mistake of buying Big Bear right now at 580 because they're gonna sell. They're gonna sell their bags. They're gonna sell 100% because they're buying a massive amount of Big Bear at the price it is right now. If Big Bear touches $6, people are gonna sell because people are gonna make a lot of profit. The question is, can the gas still be pushed after $6 right now? I think it can, obviously, but I would rather see staircases, these staircases be made. Okay, friends, I wish all of you the best of luck. I think both these stocks have unbelievable, realistic situations of making people rich into the future. They already are. They already are. These stocks are just doing amazing, okay? SoFi, you have making great quarterlies, doing all the right things. Just a beautiful, beautiful company to be a part of. Big Bear, very... you're watching a new motor be put into a car. It's messy. It's just a mess. It's messy. We're trying to figure it out, what goes where. We know it's a good engine that's going back into it. It's going to do well. It's going to last a long time. It's going to go faster than it was, but it's messy. It's a messy situation. Friends, take care of yourself. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.